Hi, I'm Harold Bell, and this is the Legends of Inside Sports and the Way We Were. Okay, today, of course, I got my partner in crime, my co-host, Chris Johnson. Chris is a graduate in the Prince George's County School System, Forestville High School, and he attended Delaware State University, and he has his own rock group, the Cortland Experience. They played over in Adams Morgan this Saturday night for St. Patrick's and on this St. Patrick's Day, and they had a great outing and a great experience. Once again, I'd like to welcome Chris to the Legends of Inside Sports. How you doing, Chris?
Oh, well, yeah, thanks for having me back. We've got plenty of topics. We've got March Madness and all types of hoops going on right now. So,
Yeah, missed you at the game, that important game, really. The Indiana Pacers taking on the Washington Wizards. Both of them are fighting for a position to have home court advantage in the playoffs. And it was a big game for the Washington Wizards. And they won going away, but then, of course, always they were leading by 21, but they always find a way to make it interesting. And one of the things that concerns me about this team, and John Wall is not back yet, but they don't play smart, especially down the stretch.
Yeah, they've had issues with that all season. Scott Brooks has talked about that a lot, especially when he's got some young players like Kelly Oubre who make big contributions, but also make big mental mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
We saw a couple games ago. I wasn't at the last game, but the game before that, Bradley Beal made a lot of errors against the Timberwolves. A lot of clutch, decisions that he just should have made better decisions.
I look at this team, and I think if they had used better, smarter sense in playing this game, they could be easily going for 50 wins instead of the goal being 40 wins, because I think they lost a lot of games just on stupid mistakes. For example, I think it was the Timberwolves game, and they were tied or were down a basket, and Bradley got caught on the sidelines trap.
Yep.
Now he tried to throw a cross-court pass, which was really stupid.
The ball away.
Yeah, but it wasn't all of his fault, because you learn when you play the game, you come toward the ball. And nobody made a move towards it.
You got to go get the ball.
He got to go get the ball, but then he made the mistake. Instead of trying to throw the cross-court pass, I would have thrown it off the guy.
Yeah, you could have done that.
You understand? And got it again.
But take it out of bounds.
Yeah. But he threw the game away, man. So that's what I'm talking about, playing smarter.
Decisions.
And I know the coach, Scott, I mean, he's pulling his hair out. When they come back and make back-to-back mistakes similar to that, that's got to be hard on the coach. And I think, as I always say, I've been saying it for a long time now, we got to get more help in the paint with goata. I mean, he had a decent game last time, 18 points and 8 rebounds. But goata has got to be a big defender. If they're going anywhere in the playoffs, it's got to start with him in the paint.
Yeah, I think that the story is definitely Gortat. Like, his minutes have gone down, but he was effective the last game, and that's what they need from him. Like I say, you need at least that 10 and 10, like you say all the time. From Gortat.
Consistent.
And for him to protect the rim. Like, they don't have a lot of rim protectors on the team, so he's got to be that guy. Like, the Wizards, as you said before, they've kind of been perpetually disappointing because, like, they should be better. Every year they should be better than they are. They should have a better record. They should go further in the playoffs, and they always hover around this mediocre level of, kind of good but not relevant contender, and they're a better team than that.
I think so, too. One of the things that I've been noticing in the officiating, man, I mean, really, this has been consistent. These guys, officials, are waiting to see if the ball go in the basket before they blow the whistle. They blow the whistle when this guy has, missed the shot, man. This is after. And it happened out there the other night. Now, I noticed that a couple of coaches have gone completely off on these officials. And I think, what we say, let them play. But, man, the officiating has been terrible. And, of course, Alvin Gentry in Toronto, Man, he went off because Anthony Davis gets beat up. There's no doubt about it. But this kid never complains, you know. Yeah. And then the coach in Detroit is saying the same thing, man. How these officials are not calling the game properly, man. And I mean, they know they're going to get fined, but evidently they're saying the hell with it.
It's worth it. Yeah, I mean, I think that, officiating has been very inconsistent. That's just what it is. The players just want consistency. If you're going to let them play and, let the physical play go, then let it be that way. Or if you're going to call, ticky-tack stuff, then let it be consistent at least. Players don't even know. There are players like Westbrook complaining, like, he attacks the rim more than any other player, and he's not getting to the line. And then there are someone like James Harden, a great player, but half of his fouls are all flops. Like, they're all flops. They're just acting and him flailing and him trying to create contact that's not there. So, it's with certain players like that. Yeah, the officiating could be really frustrating to watch. James Harden get to the line 17 times through Euro steps and fadeaways, and Westbrook getting hammered every time he's trying to go to the rim and getting maybe 5 free throws. That's I can see the frustration on the players.
Something else that got my attention too, and I think it's got a lot of people's attention. More technical fouls are being called this year.
Yeah, I see that as well.
Yeah. So the officiating has got to shape up, man. People have been playing hard all year and trying to get a position. They want to go in the playoffs. The playoffs are their reward, and you can't have this ticky-tack officiating, man. If guys that have been playing hard all year, man, and then they're gonna lose out because the officiating wasn't there. Well, let's take a look at golf. Look like everybody is up on Tiger Woods. They seem like they want Tiger Woods back.
Hey, I mean, they need a story for that sport. Really, they don't have a star, like a big star. I mean, you watch it like Rory McIlroy and some other people, but there's no like. Tiger was so dominant, like at that sport for so long. Like he was the face of golf. Like, so just to see him relevant again, it seems like even Tiger was kind of shocked. He felt from some of his quotes, it seemed like he didn't know if his body would even physically be able to compete at this level ever again. So I think it's good to see him back, like dominate, make him money.
Well, one of the things that he's like in the 10th spot in the Arnold Palmer tournament. And look like everybody just trying to push him over the edge. I think they would like to see him at least make a second top 10 finish as they head into the Masters because that was his domain. That's where he dominated in the Masters. It'd be great for him to go. A great story for him to go in there as and I tell you what, if he makes it in the top 10, he's going to be the favorite in the Masters. You watch what I say.
Yeah, because he still got that fear factor. Like, people still have those opponents. So that field is going to be terrified of Tiger Woods just because of the name recognition. Like, the guy's a legend. And, like I said, back in the day, it seemed like inconceivable that he wouldn't pack Jack Nicklaus's record. But now, like, we're looking at it like he might not get it. But, he's still young. And, for golf, he could still got plenty of years left. And,
man, it's just amazing, man. The mystique that he still brings to the game.
Absolutely.
And that the people are still, he has a big gallery still following him around, man. So that says something. So it says something.
Devoted fans.
Well, now, of course, the big thing that's going on now is the NAACA Final Four, and there have been several upsets. Man, what do you think? Who looks like the favorite? And what has been the biggest upset to you?
I mean, the biggest upset is the biggest upset we had with UMBC knocking off the #1 team in the whole nation in Virginia. Like, that's ridiculous, and they put a whooping on him too.
Yeah, so. It was no doubt. Was it?
Yeah, it wasn't like a buzzer beater or something like. They thoroughly just whooped those kids. So I think, I'm sorry, you had a great season, but the coach of Virginia, you got to take a look at that. Like, because that's your whole season is leading to March Madness and your favorite, and to lose like that to a 16 seed is inexcusable when you have the level, when you understand the difference of talent in college basketball from a Virginia or to a UMBC and that their different level of recruits they have. So that's amazing. And we've seen the best player in the country, his team, get knocked out already in the first round.
With Arizona?
Yeah, DeAndre.
Oh, yeah.
So he's a consensus dominant, #1 overall player. But, we won't be seeing him for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, a lot of people are disappointed.
Yeah, I wanted to see more of him play.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he'll be in the NBA next year anyway, but at the same time, it is disappointing, and it'll maybe hurt his stock a little bit to show that he couldn't, carry his team to a win.
Well, it looks like Duke is coming on strong.
Oh, Duke's coming on really strong. I really like Bagley, the third. He's really good. He reminds me of a young Chris Bosh. He's really, really efficient with him, and he really jumps off the screen. Like when you see certain players and they just leap out on the tape to you, like that's a star at the next level. So I think Duke's a very dangerous team. They got Coach K, so you can never
they got
never discount that.
They got the man, Coach K. What is happening? Is North Carolina still in it, or what?
I haven't been able to keep up on all the games that's going on this weekend after the show last night. So I gotta catch up on everything.
Yeah, I was I've fallen behind too, because yesterday I went out to they have a senior track meet over at the Sports and Learning Center out in PG County, and this is where all the seniors from all over the country come in. And man, I was amazed, man. They had people running from age 30 to 102. Yeah, man, it was amazing. It was inspiring to me. I said, well, maybe I can keep up with this stuff next year. But man, it was amazing to see it, well organized. Whoever put that on, man, I gotta take my hat off to you. Me and my partner Andrew Johnson went over. We decided because we were trying to catch up with a couple of buddies at our house that were in town for the meet, and went over there, and it was fascinating, man.
Oh,
it was really fascinating. Okay, Kirk Cousins came up with a big contract, man.
The biggest contract. He's a trailblazer now. He got the first fully guaranteed NFL contract.
Wow.
So a lot of players are looking at him like, we never would have thought that he'd be a trailblazer for the players and their contracts, but he bet on himself and he won. He's going to a better team than he left. In a better situation, closer to where he went to school and college and stuff like that, in Michigan State, up in that area of the country. And he's got legit weapons. He's got $84 million guaranteed in the bank for 3 years.
Man.
He can
play that to a T, didn't he?
Then he can hit free agency again in 3 years when he still has gas left in his tank, so he can get another huge contract. I mean, he played everything right, like you said, like he did.
He broke the
everything
bank,
right. Him and his agent, they played everything right.
Yeah.
And I don't even blame the Redskins. I think it was kind of a win-win on both sides. The Redskins looking at that money like we were never going to give them that, so you might as well. They were proactive in getting Alex Smith and just saying,
I'm telling you,
you get your money on the market because we have no interest in paying you.
Yeah.
$84 million guaranteed for 3 years.
They came out. Redskins came out smelling like a rose too when they got Alex.
Alex that's about as
solid,
good. Yeah, that's about as good as you can
get. Get, man. I'm telling you.
Have a good quarterback leaving you like that in free agency. Alex Smith, like I said, I have a friend who's one of my best friends, a Raiders fan, and he's talking about how we as Redskins fans don't appreciate Alex Smith.
Yeah.
Alex Smith was whipping his team for the winning divisions for the past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And people don't think about that. All he does is just win. He wins wherever he goes. You can say what you want about how conservative he plays sometimes. In the NFL, it's about not making mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not always about who has the biggest, flashiest arm, like Jameis Winston has a flashy rocket arm, but makes a lot of mistakes. Yeah. Alex Smith won't do that. He won't lose you the game.
Yeah. And that's going to be great for the division next year. Of course, the Dallas Cowboys. You got the Eagles, who are the world champions. The Giants. And I think it's going to be a tough division next year, man.
It always is.
It's a brutal division, man.
Playing. Teams always beat up on each other. Rivalries all over the place. And
it's not going to be a cakewalk for the Philadelphia team coming back next year. But I think that they improved themselves on the defensive side of the line when they got Michael Bennett from, of course, the Seattle Seahawks, man.
A lot of players moving around right now. It's talking about Ndamukong Suh will be somewhere new. Jordy Nelson is with the Raiders.
That's right. Jordy Nelson was let go by the Green Bay Packers, man. He was a clutch receiver.
Yeah. Looks like Edelman looks like he's going down to Miami. I want to say that. So, there's a lot of player movement. Exciting free agency.
Yeah.
Lots of big contracts going out. The Redskins got themselves a wide receiver for a lot of money. I don't know about that, but he's fast. I didn't watch a lot of Seattle games. He only had about 700 yards receiving, Richardson.
Oh
just
yeah.
signed, but he's a speed guy, and they need weapons. Like, so sure, if that's what the market demands, it just seems like a lot of money.
I'm kind of looking forward to next season because I can't wait to see Sherman and with the 49ers.
Yeah, that'll be it.
Yeah, man, I know he's biting on a bit more to get to when they meet Seattle, man. That's gonna be a great game.
I still have some issues with the NFL though, like just the quarterback thing, like the things that are irking me about the conversation about quarterbacks, and especially with the draft coming up, and Lamar Jackson coming out, and they're talking about him having to switch positions.
Yeah, right. I don't understand that either, man.
It's almost
that seemed like they're going back to the old days when they did the same thing with a guy that played quarterback with my dear friend Willie Wood, came out of Southern Cal, great, a pioneer when it comes to quarterback. And the first thing they did was not even think about giving him a chance at quarterback. They say, hey, man, a defensive back. And they're going to look like they're going back to that same old mentality, man.
Absolutely. I saw a statistic that said coming out of high school, 60% of black players who play quarterback get asked to change positions when they go to school.
Wow.
Like over 60%. They're always like, so why don't they get a chance to develop and play quarterback? That's my thing. It's just really frustrating. Like a few years ago, Johnny Manziel had athleticism. I didn't hear anyone talking about Johnny Manziel playing wide receiver and not being able to translate to the next level. So it's really frustrating to see all this talk, the conversation about the quarterbacks up top.
Yeah.
And it's always the black quarterback. So why don't you play wide receiver? You're real fast. Like, why doesn't Josh Allen or Ben Roethlisberger go play tight end? He's real big and great tackle. So like, I feel like there's still a lot of low key racism.
Oh, it's there. It's no doubt.
Rooted in the NFL, and like it's just
still. Look, man. Look, this is 2018. It's still a plantation mentality there. I think, man, that these guys, the black athletes, man, they blew it this past season.
Oh yeah,
they blew it, man.
Colin Kaepernick still doesn't have a job.
Yeah, doesn't have a job.
He's out there working out, showing people he's in shape. He can't even get a workout. No team will even try him out.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me it's not collusion from the owners. And then, like I said, what you said before, when they gave the players that money, that was them. That was saying, okay, we'll give you the money, but Colin Kaepernick still will never play in this league again.
Yeah. And it's just too bad. Not only they are not allowing Colin Kaepernick a chance to get a job, but all of these teams, man, there's not one African American owner.
Nope.
Not one African American owner, man. So if that doesn't tell you something, man, I don't know what does. I don't know how people can keep talking about progress. Progress where?
That's
progress where, man? You got any idea where Baker Mayfield is going, or how high he may go?
It's been a debate, but I think he should go first round. I mean, I think he's very accurate. People have issues with his attitude more than anything, and his height. Those are the main two knocks. The things I've heard about him that are knocks have not been about his play. That's what I'm saying. It's been mostly like, oh, we don't like how cocky he is and how much. I was like, look, man, I feel like Drew Brees and Russell Wilson broke the mold for the short thing. Like, you can be 6'1", 6'2", 5'11", and still play effectively if your game is built that way. So I see the Jets moved up. They're as desperate as anyone. Like, I think the most dire quarterback need in the league is the Jets. So this just depends on which one of those quarterbacks they like up top. I feel like they're all kind of bunched up at the top. There's no clear cut. This is your Peyton Manning of the draft this year. It's kind of like you got Rosen and Darnold, kind of the guys from the West Coast, UCLA and USC quarterbacks who are fighting for that 1-2, and then Josh Allen, who I don't like as a prospect, but he's big. He kind of reminds people of Carson Wentz from small school, and then you've got Lamar Jackson, who I like. You just need a coach to kind of do what they did with RG3 the first year, and if you tailor an offense around somebody that dangerous with their legs, like you can break defenses. Like there's nothing like. So I think it's ridiculous that they're asking the kid to play a different position when he's like, I can't catch. I'm not about to change positions. Like he's like, I don't care where I go. I'm just going to whatever team gives me a chance to play quarterback. Like, I don't care what round. So I would definitely take Jackson up high. I saw what he did in school, and he looks like one of the best dual threat quarterbacks I've ever seen. Like Michael Vick level of game breaking talent. So anybody says switch positions is ridiculous. Like you're not a serious person.
You're not serious about winning, man. When you you're not gonna give a talent like that a chance to play quarterback.
It's similar to the Kaepernick situation as well. I feel like the owners are breaking their agreement to the fans of putting the best product on the field because you're not doing that. You're putting, Ryan Fitzpatrick's and Josh McCown's in front of us when there's Colin Kaepernick is sitting at home, and that's not the best product for the fans. The fans don't want to see these sorry Jets quarterbacks, playing Ryan Fitzpatrick versus Mike Glennon or something like that. Like, nobody wants to see that. Like, it's not good for the game. And, like, I saw another stat that Sam Bradford has made so much money, and he's had 8-year career almost, plus career.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Bradford's not that much better than Colin Kaepernick. He hasn't done more. Or some of these more quarterbacks. Like, a quarterback, if Sam Bradford was black, basically, is my point, he wouldn't have had 8 years to get injured and keep getting chances and go to another team, get hurt, do nothing, get another chance, get another contract, get hurt, do nothing. Like, you have 1 or 2 bad seasons as a black quarterback, your career's over. You're not getting another chance.
Right. Well, let's these last couple of minutes that we got, let's switch over to politics. See, our president is at his thing again. What's happening there, Chris?
He's firing everybody, firing the Secretary of State, firing dudes right before his pension. It's a reality show. We got a reality show.
You know what? But you know what blows me away is that our young folks like yourself are watching this. You understand? The young people are watching this, watching how we behave. See, I always tell when I talk to these young people, especially when their parents and their teachers there, I say, you know what? Our young people did not come out of their mother's womb with an AK-47. They didn't come out with a Ku Klux Klan robe. They come out using the MF word or the N word, or come out selling cocaine. This is all learned behavior, man. So what our president of the United States is doing, he's teaching some bad habits, man.
He's literally like the worst role model like anyone could ever pick for anything.
Isn't that something? That's amazing.
And I think it is going to have a really, really harmful effect on the next generation because that's supposed to be the most highest prestigious office. If you work hard enough, you maybe can become president one day, or you could just buy it, or you could just
you're able to buy the office now.
Basically. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, so it doesn't mean anything anymore. That dream of like being president, like he's totally crushed the prestige of the office, basically, in a way that even George Bush didn't. So
it's too bad because I look at Tillerson and he's getting ready to go over to talk with this guy in North Korea. So Tillerson had some part in setting that up. Why would you get rid of this man right at a crucial point as this, You fire your Secretary of State, man.
Oh, because the Secretary of State called him an effing moron.
Oh, yeah, he hadn't forgotten.
Yeah, and that leaked out to the press.
Yeah. So, and I'm gonna tell you something. That's a good point. I see him, and it's too bad, man. The President of the United States and our young people are watching all this as being very vindictive. You understand? Because the firing of the FBI guy was very vindictive, man.
He's just
very petty, man. They fired this man 1 or 2 days before he's eligible to get his full pension, man. That's petty, man. That does not look good for, I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. You understand? Come on, man. A human being. You got people. You got millions of people watching you.
He's disconnected from reality. Like,
it's
sad. It's dangerous. It's all of the above. Like, we need a new wave in politics. Like I said, I think maybe one of the positives from this whole Trump situation is like people will be paying attention now. People will be like, why is it okay to buy these offices? Why are we listening to these guys if they're not serious? Like, why let's get these guys out of here. I mean, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's filtering over, man. We get ready to come into the spring of the year, and these kids gonna be getting out of school. It's gonna be interesting to see, how they're going to respond because evidently they getting their act together. Not only are they going to be marching, but the thing is they got to be sitting down at the dinner table with their parents and explain to their parents, hey, look. Y'all got to lead us. We can't vote now. We're going to be able to vote later.
Soon,
but you guys got to pick up the ball and carry it. That's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's on the next generation because they're doing some terrible things even behind the scenes. They talk about Trump and porn star affairs and all the salacious stuff, but he's rolling back environmental regulations. He's still, doing regulations against, undoing regulations for clean air and clean water and things like that. Just completely gutting the environment. So it's a lot of damage that is irreversible that he's doing that people need to pay attention to, and not just the tabloid stuff.
Yeah. Well, hey man, as always, it's been a blast. Looking forward to next week, and I want you folks out there to remember that this is the Legends of Inside Sports, and to remember that every black face you see is not your brother, and every white face is not your enemy. Until next time, I'm Harold Bell, and you can color me gone.